Ah, yes, microphone is working. Hmm. Spotify, however, is not. How can that be? Okay, Spotify is working again. So there was no audio for the whole countdown. I am sorry. Oh man, I don't know why. I honestly have no clue why. Was Spotify working yesterday? It was, right? So not sure why it is not working now. Yeah, that message said Timey is live as well, so Timey is live, and we'll see who rates who. It's going to be a competition. Who's going to be done first? Oh man, it's the weekend, and it's going to be a busy weekend. So tomorrow and the day after, basically the weekend, the biggest board game convention in the Netherlands is happening, Spellenspectakel, and I'm gonna help run the bring and buy booth. So basically selling second-hand games. Today I delivered my games, all 55 of them. So yeah, I hope I sell all 55 because I could really use the money. But yeah, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. You never know, right? Yeah, that's the goal, to make sure I get paid. And I think I got everything reasonably priced. I think I'm around 50% MSRP or less, which I think for a second-hand game that looks brand new is very, very good. A couple of games are a bit higher, so a Vital Lacerda game, yeah, that's definitely up there. So, yeah, I think I unboxed this one on Tuesday during my coffee and crowdfunding stream. And I was like, yeah, I cannot wait. I know I scheduled Covenant for yesterday, and I was like, I'm so busy this weekend. But I really want to show this one off and play it and have fun with people. So, yeah, eventually, here we are. That's how we roll. It's not ready yet, so we stream today. We have a bonus stream of Valheim, the board game. I played Valheim during the pandemic, mostly with Slivers and with Matthew McCack. We built all sorts of things. I built basically a harbor. Well, it started out with one dock and then a second dock, and before you knew it, we had a full harbor. Well, not really full harbor, but good enough harbor, which was protected from the giants because those giants. Where do I have one? These freaking. No, this is a troll. Yeah, but basically they are they 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 just walk up to your camp and start smashing stuff. So you need protection. So the first thing we built was a moat around it, then spikes around that because yeah, we had a couple of entrances. Then a stone wall near the entrance, a stone bridge, which they had it was not the most sturdy thing, so that the moat could be completely filled underneath. And then spikes in the side just in case, because those stupid big trolls could walk further. And they weren't trolls, they were actual giants, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, doesn't really matter. They start smashing stuff. So yeah, you had to keep them away from everything. So we put spikes around them so they couldn't walk. They could walk a certain distance into the water and then walk around. So we had to dig a moat around that so that they started floating and they couldn't walk, and that worked mostly. But then there are some winged creatures which aren't in this box, so I have a feeling that there might be an expansion coming. I don't know. Depends how good the game did. I think it did very well on Kickstarter. So and it looks good. It looks very good. There's one part that you cannot see properly, and that's basically the house. Because yeah, you cannot look into it, and you look from the top. And so you know what? Here, you can look a little bit into it because that's the angle the camera can make. So it's a little bit. Here, it's technically a dice tower because I don't know. See, it's a dice tower. Not the best, that's why I still prefer this one. But yeah, this is Valheim. I basically don't need this discard because they didn't tell me to set this up for the tutorial. We're going through the tutorial deck. Card 1 to 55. That's it. I don't know if we then get let loose and then I can do the rest, but yeah, normally if you do a one-off, you get this. You have phase 1 and then you get phase 2 and then you get to fight the creature. And if your deck runs out, yeah, you lose. So basically, you cannot do it like you do in the video game, that you just go explore and build and everything. It's still part of the game. You definitely should get it, but do it. But you cannot do it endlessly and just ignore that there is a big boss out there that you need to fight. Because yeah, this is the big boss. The Eiktya, basically a big stag with, well, chains on his antlers. So yeah, that's the one we need to defeat. And I am just a little, well, I have a bow and arrow, but technically I'm a carpenter. And as you can see, this playmat fills the board pretty, and normally I don't like to be rotated, but it doesn't fit on the table rotated, so I had to do it like this. And I didn't want to do the whole table and just get a lot of playmat area, which is fine. It works, there's no issue there, it works fine as a playmat area. And it's just my own playmat. I still need the one with a brand on it, which you barely can see because there's always a board or anything else covering it. But yeah, well, for some photos it's nice. But then I was, yeah, I'm playing this solo, so yay. Let's do it like that. So yeah, I hope the solo, I tried to find out if I have to play double-handed, but it didn't look like it. Otherwise I would have done this and put one here next to here. Can still do that if needed, but as I understand from the rules, they don't say for solo setup use 2 characters or something like that. So let's hope it works with 1. At least I couldn't find it in the rules, and they have nice big solid rule books. Oh, style on it. So it's a nice, very big rule book with color coding to the side. You can see you can do a single scenario or a campaign, but it doesn't say if you need to be in a solo mode or not. And I forgot to put a marker there to determine how healthy our creature is. Is that thing? I think I need you. The only black marker in the whole thing, and I didn't get it out. Stupid me. Don't know where it needs to be. I think there, and then as soon as we kill it, it's gone. But yeah, it comes with a scenario book. So this is a frost dragon. I've beaten that one. But all sorts of scenarios. So you can do a campaign and just take 4 scenarios and play that. So yeah, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna play the tutorial, so that means a lot of reading and everything. So are we ready for this? Well, I am, but are you? So let's start. Card number 1. Welcome to Valheim, warriors. See, it's plural, but I'm just one person. You find yourself somewhere in the wilderness of Valheim. So far, you've managed to build a house and light a fire. Yeah, there are 2 fires burning right here. You cannot see that. Well, you can see the edge of the fire pit. There are 2 fires burning. Normally, that's your first goal. Get a house and a fire started. Odin has tasked you to defeat the dreadful Forsaken Ikea. But to do that, you must first defeat the large troll that is lurking in the Black Forest. It's either in this area or that area. Once you have done this, Ikea will answer your challenge at his altar. Glory awaits. So I'm guessing we're going for card number 2. First steps. Every player has 3 actions. They may perform on their turn. A full list of actions can be found on the player aid cards. Here, in and outside the house. Inside the house I can do those 3 actions, and in or outside the house I can do the other ones. So it might be useful to have that handy. One of your available actions is moving your character to an adjacent space up to 2 spaces total. Spaces are separated by white lines and tile edges. Well, currently there are no white lines. There's a tile edge. If you move onto a face down tile, flip it face up and continue to move to one of the available spaces. Player 1 spends their first action to move, but must flip over the adjacent unexplored tile first. So basically it teaches you the game, which I like. So it has a white arrow that needs to be on top. So this is the area. Remember to keep the tile arrows pointing in the same direction when you flip the tiles. Since the player 1 is committed to their move, they must now move into the space on the tile. Player 1 moves into the space with the height resource. The tile also has a creature icon on it. Well, I forgot what they're called, but yeah, it's this little dwarf thingy. Icon means a grayling is present. Place a grayling on that space. Well, I just did. It's a grayling. They're mostly green, but it's a grayling. So I hope the tutorial works for 1 player, because yeah. This is, by the way, the other house style. This looks more reminiscent of our building, by the way. Card number 4. Haven't done anything. You may spend an action to collect a resource that matches the icon on the space they are on. Player 1 spends their second action to roll the gather resources die, which is this one. They gain 1 of the appropriate resources per hand icon. And I rolled 1 hand. If the result is an exclamation mark, they ignore it for now. So I got 1 resource. So I get 1 wood. Because that's what they say I should do. Even though I sheep pelt. Mention icon, so I'm getting skin. So I'm getting a pelt. Place the resources in the space in front of the house. This is the shared stash. These resources may be spent up to craft gear for your characters and furniture for your house. All resources are shared by the group. Ending your turn. Player 1 spends their final turn to roll for more heights. So I'm gonna see if I gain more. 1 more hand, I get 1 more height. After this play, when one has spent all 3 actions and their turn automatically ends. When a player ends their turn, they must draw the next event card and resolve it. The tutorial deck also includes event cards when players end their turn. Player 1 draws the next event card and resolves it before player 2 starts their turn. Well, but technically I'm still player 1. Did they mention that it could only work for 4 players, the tutorial? Ah, okay. Did not notice that. We're gonna do a little change on setup. This tutorial is worded for a PlayStation with 4 players, but if any number of player slots are not filled for this tutorial, a player can simply play as multiple characters. Once you're done with the tutorial, you can easily pick up a scenario and embark on your first adventure using the rulebook as reference for the elements that are unfamiliar. So basically I have to set up the other 4 players as well. So let's do that. Since this really doesn't change much, I will keep it like so. Because then it's all pointing in the same direction and that gives me some space for other playboards. Okay. Well, player 1, player 2, player 3, player 4. Something like this. I missed a bit of the setup. Sometimes I read too fast. See that happening. You're big yellow. You red, and then it means one. Come on. Here, you blue. You are red, and you are still there. And to remember that this person is red, they put a little slot here to have a token there to represent their color. There. And it means you are blue. So yeah, I have to play it multi-handed. At least the tutorial. I don't know if I have to play everything multi-handed, but yeah. So there was a little bit of a setup thing that needed to be taken care of because at least player 3, so 1, 2, 3, it needs to be carpenter. So we're gonna change that a little bit. And player number 4 needs to be a spear fighter as an occupation. So that means you are a butcher now. You're an agile butcher. I need a spearman, berserker, smith, lumberjack. Gatherer, or guardian, cook, combatant, conqueror, and of course it's all the way at the bottom of here. Spear fighter. Okay. The rest didn't matter. Okay. Then seeing green, green, green. So you need a blue thing. You're a guardian, and it makes sense. You look like a tank. Then they need something different. So you're a tough guardian. That sounds good. strong carpenter, and a brewing spear fighter. Okay, sure. And then you get something else. Gain 1 resource from a critical hit. Okay. Plus 1 resource. Reveal any tile and reroll. Okay, cool. That's set up. Not everybody gets health. Let's view. It's only thing. The spot for the cubes is very tiny. And stamina should be halfway. I have big lumpy finger. This doesn't work for me. There we go. I think I got it all. And then they have their own colored tombstones, which we hope we don't need to use. But it's a tutorial, you never know, right? Get out of there. The insert is a little tight for the small stuff. You can get it out, but... Okay, player 1 draws the next event card and resolves it before player 2 starts theirs. And I believe there's a point to see whose turn it is. So it's... Oops, this. Event 1. Some thorny bushes nearby have some nice energizing berries. If you can endure the sting of the thorns, they are worth it. Reduce the health and reduce your health by 1 by moving the red cube 1 space down the health track. But that was for every person, right? No, the player ending the turn must resolve it. Okay. Increase your stamina by 3, maxing it out. Once the event is resolved, player 2 draws the next tutorial card. Okay. Well, I got all the players. It barely fits. You cannot fully see the 4th player. Eventually, I'm probably gonna have them side by side here. But we'll see. Cooking food. Well, you're a guardian. You're not a cook, but sure, you're the butcher. It's player 2's turn. They also have 3 action. Let's cook food for an action. Shuffle the food cards. Already did that and place them down by the deck space. Player may spend 1 action on cooking. Player 2 spends 1 action to cook by flipping the top food card and placing it on the first available space. Okay. We have carrots. And we can make carrot soup. The 2nd place is locked and cannot be filled this time. Okay. Eating food. It also requires 1 action to eat 1 prepared food card. Player 2 spends their action why is player 2 not fully fulfilled? It's what I had to do during the setup, right? Yeah. So weird. Because they now move. Oh, okay. Okay. Player 2 spends their 2nd action by eating the discarding the card. To the discard space, which is the discard space. For now, they only gain the bonus at the top of the food card. So basically, I got carrots. I don't get carrots. Do we have carrots here? No, we don't have carrots as a separate thing. Move your health marker, stamina all the way up. Health and stamina cubes all the way up. That's why. Up to your foods. If the track is full, you can't gain any more. If the bonus includes a reroll icon, we didn't, then player 2 adds a reroll token to their character board. Well, they didn't. There's no reroll icon. At least not for this one. Eating food 2.2. To gain the bottom effect of food cards, player must craft a cauldron. To unlock the second food space and fill them both with one cooking action, players must craft a table. See the furniture overview sheet for the yeah, we got a nice furniture. What do you need and what does it give you? And also we have Haldor, but we're not using Haldor. There's definitely not in the tutorial. For players 2 final action, they move one space onto the same space as player 1. Their turn is now over and they must draw the next event card. Event 2. A cliff face next to your house gives way, causing large boulders to tumble through your homestead. All 3 players in the house take 3 damage. There we go. Also, your group gains 1 stone and adds it to the shared stack. Once the event is resolved, player 3 draws the next tutorial card. Well, on to player 3. You got hit. 3 actions. Now it's player 3 turn. Players may spend 1 action to craft equipment or furniture if they are on the house tile. The icon on player 3 hammer, player 3's hammer, yeah, that's why I'm a carpenter, indicates they have 1 free craft action, but only once per turn. In other words, any player may craft, but the hammer equipment allows you. Oh yeah, I forgot to do the equipment. Allows you to craft once per turn without spending an action. Let's do the crafting material as well. Player 2 gets a flint axe. Player 3 gets a hammer. And player 4 gets a leather tunic. Helmet, leather tunic. There we go. Now the tutorial makes sense. Player 3 starts by spending height, spending the free action and the requirement resource to craft a rug. And to do a rug, I have to spend 2 heights. Remove the resources from the shared stage and place the rug anywhere in the house. So these go anywhere. Now get the rug. It's not a wooden resource, I guess. There it is. Found it. It's still a wooden resource. It's the rug. Rug placed. Rug. Because player 3 has crafted a piece of furniture, they add 1 experience cube to an empty carpenter skill shot spot. And which cube is what? Is that a white cube? Yeah, that's a white cube. More info on skills on the next card. The trade and occupation skills that each player has must be unlocked by the first performance task. Number of times the task must be done to unlock a skill. So yeah, this is 3, this is 1. You may use any skill effect as long as a skill is unlocked. Trade skills always require 1 experience cube to unlock, and occupation requires 3. The diamond shapes serve as a reminder of this. Yeah, I figured. That part I got. Teamwork. Food you cook may be left for later and eaten by any player in the house. It is important to note that crafting, cooking, and eating may only be done while in the house. Player 3 now spends 1 action to cook a food card, refilling the top food card. They also spend 1 action on crafting a flint spear by the way, over here, by removing 1 stone and placing the weapon on their own character board next to their hammer. They have 1 action left, yeah, because you have. I have to look for the flint spear. Flint knife. Where's the flint spear? Fang spear. Flint spear. I have a weapon. I'm weaponized, people! They have 1 action left. Yeah, but there's a teamwork 2.2 coming. Players may spend an action to exchange equipment and consumables with another player on the same space as them. Since player 4 has better use of the spear, because they're a spear fighter, because of their spear fighter skill, player 3 spends their last action to give that spear to them and get a leather tunic in return. Oh, okay. The effect of the rug in the house gives 1 stamina to a player when they end their turn into the house. In the house, yeah. Player 3 ends their turn in the house and gains 1 stamina. They draw the next event card. What's happening? An old fallen tree trunk lies nearby on the hill. It would take a bit of work to chop up, but more lumber is always useful. Spend 2 stamina to gain 2 wood. So I was here. Gain 2 wood. 1. 2 wood. Once the event is resolved, player 4 is up. Looking for a fight. Player 4 has a spear and there is also prepared food for them. They spend 1 action to eat the prepared food to gain the benefits and then discard the card. So they get 2 health and 3 stamina. Player 4 must defeat 3 creatures with a spear to unlock their spear skill. So let's defeat that nearby greenling in combat. That little bugger. Locate the greenling creature card. Let's go over here. So you have this grayling and you have this grayling. This card shows the different stats of this creature. The backside with the star shows veteran version, but we'll ignore that for now. Yeah, please do. So, creature name, icon name, damage dice, how much health, and the loot that they give us. Ambush. To initiate a combat, you simply need to move into a space with a creature. Combat also starts automatically if a creature moves into your space. In other words, if you ever share a space with a creature, combat starts. To attack before combat, you must spend an action to ambush. This allows you to gain one free attack roll. You may only do this if you have a weapon with the ranged icon, which I do because it has an arrow. Luckily, the spear that play 4 is ranged. Ambush. Player 4 spends their second action to ambush the space with the grayling using the ranged attack. When attacking, roll the yellow die. Indicating that are indicated on the weapon cards. Player 4 rolls 1 yellow die for the ambush with the spear. I got 2 axes. For each action result, the grayling takes 1 attack point. Since it only has 2 health, 2 hits will defeat it. You can place red cubes next to it to keep track on how much health it has left. I did defeat it, so it drops this mug kind of thing, and the creature goes back into the box. Railing down. That was a nice hit. Let's assume the grayling was not defeated from the ambush. It was. If a creature is not defeated from the ambush, all creatures on its space are now aware of you and move into your space, and combat starts. Move the grayling into place for space. Okay. They didn't believe I had a lucky roll. Okay, they move into here. Combat resolves as a series of dice rolls until either side is defeated. Their health reduced to 0. If combat has not ended after your first die roll, you simply repeat until one side is defeated. So, okay, let's roll. I miss. They hit me. And now they're dead. Now they are actually dead. Here we go. Here. Just too few spaces here. Too cramped. The active player always rolls all attack and or defense dice. Oh, okay, then I still have to. And I do 1 more damage. Okay. Play now resolves combat rolling for the on space. Note that the grayling does not have a special effects on the dice, so that has no effect. Oh, okay, I miss that one. All hits are always applied. Even if you defeat the grayling, you still take damage as they also hit you. So that's simultaneously. That's good to know. Once the grayling's health is reduced to 0, it's removed from the board. Add the loot to its shared stash. To the shared stash. Okay, it automatically goes here. Because player 4 has defeated the creature, yeah, we get a white cube. If you defeat 2 more creatures with a spear, their skill will unlock and they will deal +2 damage with any spear as long as they are at full health. That's a good thing. Each player has a Power of Odin skill underneath their illustration. For the Power of Odin skill, all players spend the indicated amount of stamina to perform that effect. In your cases, you can reroll an enemy die for 3 stamina. Power of Odin skill may be used at any time, also outside of your turn, and on any player, even on others than those using it. They do not cost an action, just stamina, and they will always take instant effect. Almost halfway through the deck. Fire table. Player 4 spends their last turn to craft a fire table. They remove 1 resin and 2 wood from the stash and place a fire table in the house. You will use this later. Okay. Let's back. Let's find the fire table. That looks like the fire table. And we place the fire table right here. We have a fire table. Because 4 player ends their turn in the house, they also gain 1 stamina, but they're already full. So from the rock and draw the next event card. Event. Player 1. All is quiet for now. Player 1 draws the next tutorial card. So we're back to player 1. Explore more. Explore more. Players spend their first action to move into an unexplored meadow tile by flipping it and ending their movement on the space with the wood resource. So the next meadow tile is this one. And that's 1, 2. So yeah. Remember, I must also place 2 necks. Because there are 2 necks here. And a common chest. Where do I have the chest? Chest symbol. That's a common chest. So without looking what I'm picking in the chest, because we don't know what's in the chest, we put the chest there. Player 1 spends their second action to roll the die to gain wood. Okay, what are we getting? We're getting just 1 wood. Come on, get that 1 wood. Outnumbered combat. Player 1 has their eyes on the nearby chest and is feeling confident. Player 1 spends the last action to move 1 space into the space with the graylings and combat starts. Are you freaking kidding me? I know you have a bronze sword, but still. But there's a problem, because there are 2 graylings and only 1 player. Player 1 is outnumbered 2 to 1. Whenever a player is outnumbered in combat, they take 1 extra damage every turn unless all damage dice results are blank. Players also have the option to assist others in combat if combat happens within 1 movement distance. 2 spaces. By default, that player may spend 1 stamina to assist. Player 3's leather tunic is +1. That may also be used to assist from far away. Player 3 spends 1 stamina and moves 3 spaces to assist with combat. Okay. With 2 players on the space, they are no longer outnumbered. Well, they can do basic math. For combat with more than 1 player or creature, you need to be aware of 2 things. For combat with multiple players, each fighting player rolls dice once and applies the results before they pass the dice to the next player in turn order. For combat with multiple creatures, you only roll damage dice for 1 of the creatures at a time. When that creature is defeated, you start rolling for the next one. The order of the creature's attack is always determined by the health stats on the creature's cards from highest to lowest. Well, they're both graylings. In this case, both creatures are Greyling, so their attack order does not matter. Players may also choose which creature to apply their own attack results to, but never which creature damages them. As mentioned before, it's only the creature with the highest health that attacks. It's possible for two different attack dice results to be divided between two different results, but I cannot do a double hit between two creatures. Okay. Remember, in combat, the player always rolls and applies their own attack dice and creatures damaging dice at the same time. Players with armor also roll for defense based on their armor card. And shield negates 1 damage you would take. Player 1 rolls for combat. That's 2 red dice. I only have 1. That's basically also red. The red is not consistent. Okay, but that's okay. Followed by player 3. So I have, for the sake of the tutorial, player may ignore any damage that would reduce them to 0 health in this combat. Remember to add the loot to the shared stash whenever a creature is defeated. Okay. So I just roll 1, and you go first. You do 2 damage, and they do 1 damage back. So 1 damage, and that's 1 neck gone. To keep it simple, 1 neck gone, which means 1 resin for us. Then you, oh, by the way, it should have been a black one. Oh, no damage. Even better. Then player 3 rolls a yellow, a blue, and then 1 black die. No hit, no defense, so that's perfectly fine. And 2 damage, so that neck is also gone. Bye bye necks. So what's next? Use a knife to defeat a creature. Yeah, but that's a sword, so that's not a knife. They're defeated. Player 1 has no actions left, but picking up tokens in a space is always a free action. Before they end their turn, player 1 opens a chest by flipping the token, adding the loot to the shared stash. So we got 1 coin. I do have metal coins, by the way, but yeah, also have wooden coins. And 1 brass. It's this one, right? No, that's, yeah, that is this one. After the chest has been opened, it's removed from the game. Yeah, because otherwise you can get the same chest multiple times. Players 1 turns is over and they draw an event card. The dreadful sound of screeching creatures filled the air. Repopulate all vacant creature spaces. A vacant creature spaces are spaces with a creature icon, but no players or creatures on them. Well, that's basically 1 neck over here. Then player 2 draws the next tutorial card. Now it's player 2's turn. They decide to explore the Black Forest tile behind the Greyling. Player 2 spends an action to move around the Greyling and into the Black Forest tile, flipping it. So 1, flipping this tile. 2, but it has a nasty troll on it. The only space they may move into has a troll. Since they must move when exploring a tile, they must move in and start combat with the troll. Locate the troll card for the details on the troll. Okay. Now this was the grayling. Now we're gonna check for a troll. Great dwarf, skeleton, fenring, troll. Draugrs, or those are annoying. Abomination. I don't recall fighting Abomination. Stone Golem I did. A Raid Lurker, they're playing neck group. So I say neck, but they are not necks. They were graylings. Necks are different. Necks are just simple prey. Okay. They use 2 black dice. One is a hit and the other one is some other special symbol. I don't know what. And they have 7 health. But luckily, I'm a guardian with an axe. The troll has a special effect on the exclamation runes that cancels any armor players have. This means your armor results are ignored. Luckily, you don't have an armor. If the troll rolls an exclamation point, the troll also deals 1 extra damage on special hits. Feel free to resolve combat as normal, considering if any other players wish to assist. Yeah. Player 4 cannot assist since they don't have a clear line of movement. That's true. I think player 1 might assist. Resolve combat with a troll now. The next card will go over what happens if a player is defeated in combat. Oh! If. But we're not doing if. So you go first. You use your flint axe and you roll against 2 black dice. What's going to happen? 1 damage, no damage. So I take 1 damage. That's not good. Now we do the same, but I roll 2 red dice. 1 extra damage, so that's 2 hits, but I hit it with 2 as well. Which means it has 5 left. I'm using orange cubes now. Yeah, the cube space is not the best. It fits with the cube, but getting the cubes out, it's just a pain. You got 5 left, okay? 5 left on the troll. Then it's your turn again. By the way, it was your turn, so 1 yellow. Please hurt him. 1 is 2 damage, and I do 1. Okay, that's cool. Then we do the 2 red ones. Just 1 damage. I do 4, killing the troll. So I kill the troll. Troll is gone. But they say, well, let's see what happens if something gets defeated. Regardless of the combat's outcome, player 2 resolves the following steps. Well, you still gain 2 coins and a copper. I believe it's copper. And 2 coins. Regardless the outcome, you get it all. Choose 1 equipment card you have and remove it from the board. For this example, remove the flint axe. Place your tombstone, and that's the red one. Oh, you have standee things for that. Okay. You do have standee things for the tombstones. It's like, well, it would be nice to see where the tombstones are. There's a tombstone right there. And then place a flint axe near it. The equipment may be picked up by any player on the space with the tombstone. Okay. Do I also remove my figure? Place your character on the house. Okay. That's the red one, sorry. Lying down because you're sleeping. Reset, set everything to 0. Once it's your turn again, you are revived and gain 1 health back. End your turn regardless of how many actions you have left and do not gain any furniture benefit. You still draw from the event deck, but are unconscious, and any unconscious players should ignore effects that have them fight or spend gain health stamina. Player 3 draws the next tutorial card. Fast forward, let's simulate a few turns in progress. Place all players back in the house. And put everything on full. Okay. We're cheating a bit. But yeah, we're near the end of the deck and we still need to fight that one. We did defeat the troll, so now we're looking for that one. Give player 2 the flint axe back. And remove the tombstone from the board. That. If the troll's still on the board, remove it and make sure you have at least 3 coins in the shared stash. Yeah, we did. Flip all tiles face up and do not add any new creatures. So here's the altar that we need to go to, I guess. Players gain the following. Player 1 gets stamina meat, which is this one, I believe. Well, it's so tiny. Again, stamina meat. There you go. Player 2 gets a bronze plate tunic. So that's armor, I'm guessing. Bronze plate tunic. Bronze helmet, bronze plate tunic. There you go. Player 3 gets a fine wood bow. It's a carpenter, but sure. You get a fine wood bow. Like that. Fine wood bow. And the other one gets help meat, which is this one. There you go. Hi, Cortain. How are you doing? Yeah, you've played the well, I played it until I think we defeated the boss in the fiery edge of the world, and after that I did not play it anymore. I want to play it again, but it's been too long. I don't know if Sliver's server is still up, by the way. I don't know. But yeah, it's going pretty well. I'm basically going through the tutorial because I didn't have time to learn the game. The Ashlands, yeah, which are not in this game. So maybe there will be an expansion that adds the Ashlands. Wouldn't surprise me. Is there anything beyond the Ashlands? Because I haven't played in like forever. That's not. Northlands should be coming to the video game soon. That has been taking forever. But yeah, maybe I should pick up the video game at some point. But yeah, time. Meanwhile, I'm playing Deep Rock Galactic for like ages. But yeah, I was hesitant on getting this one, but I'm glad I did. Thirsty. What time is it? 11. Oh, I've been on it for an hour. Okay. So basically, when I ran through the deck, I should be done with the tutorial. Fire weapon. Now it's player 3's turn. Yeah. They spend one action to and one resin to add a fire token to one of their weapons. You can do that. Okay. Spend one resin and add a fire token. Now I'm shooting fire arrows, people. It's also dual-handed, by the way. You move on resin and place it on the fire arrow. Yeah. Weapons with fire on them have +1 in combat. Oh, that's good. You may not transfer fire from one weapon to another. That's good to know. Each weapon can only have a maximum of 1 fire. Can I have a fire hammer? That sounds so cool. I'm not Thor. I don't know which one is the Norse god of fire, but yeah. 300%, yes, you could. Excited for you. Well, I did use stretch pay. That helped a lot. Otherwise, I could not do it. Thank you, man. Yeah, I'm anytime. I got it on Tuesday, and I then unboxed it during Coffee and Crowdfunding, and I was like, yeah, when I'm going to play this, I had a whole schedule already for games I got at Spiel. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it Friday. I cannot wait. That does mean I still have to paint everything because this nice little stag is not painted. I did not have time to paint stuff. Remember, any bonus such as fire or those stated on the equipment card only apply when you actually roll a hit. A non-black. This goes for bonuses on armor cards as well. Okay, makes sense. So they give an extra hit if I hit. Player 3 spends their second action to move to the nearby hide resource, which is over there, and player 3 is you, so that's yellow. And then they roll to see if they get hides. Wow, they get two hides. Whenever an exclamation mark is roll with the green die, all creatures within 2 spaces move 1 space closer. Let's imagine that you did. Egg tier, yeah. Well, I got everything until even the frost dragon. So yeah, I got the big tree guy, which name I forgot, and I got the big ooze guy, which I don't know how to paint. So, well, I know a bit because yay, normally outside perfectly fine. How do I get inside? I have to use black primer on this dude because otherwise, if I use white, you will always see the inside, and I don't like that. But then I have to go over it with white primer or white, yeah, brushed primer to do the ooze thing to make it a glowy effect. So this will be hard to paint, this one. It's not like I can take it apart. Well, I could, but let's not do that. I'll take it apart and glue it back together. But yeah, they did not have miniature painters in mind when they did this one. Okay, let's imagine that I did roll. Where is it? Where's the exclamation mark? Oh, here. The nearby grayling is alerted and moves into player 3 space. Oh no, we have to fight, people. Resolve combat. Well, basically, I can hammer him or I can shoot a bow at him. I'm gonna shoot a bow. Well, 2 hits and they didn't hit me, so yay, you're gone. Giving me another resin. Once combat's over, player 3 moves back into the house. And then I get 1 stamina from the rug. But I'm already full on stamina, so not sure what there happened there. Event 6. You come across a collection of strange talismans buried in the mud. Drill the bottom. Use a straw to spray it. Add an LED in the middle. Yeah, it could be. All players add 1 reroll token to the character board. Okay, you all get 1 reroll token. And of course, I move the tokens to a different slot because, yeah, me and my big fat fingers. You all gain 1 reroll token. There you go. A reroll token may be spent once to reroll as many of your player's dice as you wish. You cannot reroll damage dice with a reroll token. You may have a maximum of 2 reroll tokens at any time. Remove the token from the board when it's spent. Player 4 draws the next tutorial card. So we're up to player 4 now. Seeking out Haldor. You're kidding me, Haldor is there. Player 4. Then we're gonna do it properly. If Haldor's there. I did not notice that it was Haldor's space. Yeah. It's also where I have my metal coins. Look. Oh. And a nice fancier deck of those cards. It's just a fancier deck, right? It's not anything special. Is it the same deck? Do we get the same things? Root mask, root stuff. It's just flashy. It's just the same thing, but this one's flashy. So what we're gonna do is you shuffle Haldor's deck and place it into the space on the equipment board. Yeah, we're gonna do that. Make sure that everything is loose. Do the flashy cards because, yeah, why not? These cards go here. Okay. To start a trade with Haldor, you must spend an action on his space. By the way, you move your blue, so you move 2 actions. Yeah, I was like, yeah, 1, 2, and then another one to move to Haldor. Hello, hello, Haldor. So you may spend 1 coin and an action in the house to start a trade of will. Player 4 spends their last action to start trade with Haldor. When trading with Haldor, a player may spend any amount of coins to buy the resource or equipment from him. Paying for the wares is not an action. When trading, you may always reveal the top 3 cards of his deck. If you wish to reveal 3 additional cards, you must spend another action. Since player 4 started the top 3, reveal the top 3 Haldor cards. Which are the top 3 Haldor cards? Serpent Scale Shield, an Ancient Bark Spear, and a Troll Leather Tunic. Oh, Troll Leather. We know how good that one is. Player 4 spends 3 coins to gain 1 of the revealed pieces of equipment and places the rest back to the bottom of the deck. And they're all costing 3. What shall we get? I already have a spear. I could hold 2 spears. That would be weird, but doable. I would say troll leather tunic. Oh no, I get, if I use a spear to defeat anything, I gain stuff here. And these two go to the bottom of the deck. Hi, Panda. Sorry I missed the rest of your stream. Hope you had a good one. I guess you read it into timey? Play 4, draws the next event card. I'm almost done anyway, but because I'm at 45 out of 55. Eikthyr is angered by your presence. A horrible thunderstorm engulfs your group. Each player chooses one of the following. Lose 2 health or lose 2 stamina. Lose 2 health. Just for the fun of it. Play 1, draws the next tutorial card. Summoning the Forsaken. Now it's player's 1's turn. The green player. When the scenario for the objective is complete, the Forsaken may be summoned at their altar. Well, I had to defeat the troll, which I already did. So, in this case, you have defeated the troll and Eikthyr may be summoned at his altar. Player 1 spends 2 actions to move all the way to the Eikthyr altar space. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. They spend 1 last action to summon Eikthyr and the fight starts. I was like, what the heck am I fighting the first time I had that one? Then I played it with slivers and I'm like, oh, it's that easily beaten if you just force it into the water. Okay. I don't have an Eikthyr card here, right? No, those are just creatures. I think this is the Eikthyr card that I'm going to use. Somehow. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Next tutorial card. There is no going back once the Forsaken has been summoned. Move the tutorial deck and discard pile from the altar board and place them nearby. Well, they're pretty nearby, so I'm okay. Flip the altar board to reveal Eiktyr's arena. Oh, okay. I'll move it. This is Eiktyr's arena. Okay. For each forsaken area is different. As a rule, players cannot enter a space with a Forsaken. Okay. Normally, each player may choose their starting space for now. For now, place yourselves as shown. Player 1 goes here. No. Here. Yeah, here. Player 2, which is red, goes here. Player 3, which is yellow, moves over here, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and player 4, which is blue, is going to be over here in this area. Negative effects on spaces are not applied unless you actually move into them. Well, we did not do that. Place Eikthyr in the center space. There we go. Facing the active player. Yeah. Place a black Forsaken marker cube on Eiktyr's health. Already did that. So he has full health. In a regular game, Forsaken starts with 1 fewer health for each 2 event cards remaining in the event deck. Since we're not using that one, event deck, simply keep Eiktyr's health at full. Wait, Eikthyr can be beaten by water? Well, it's less, it can move worse when you force it to the water. It cannot be beaten by water because it won't stay in the water, but it tries to keep coming out and not attack. And that's when you have clear area to attack. So you can surround it by forcing it to the water. But yeah, that, at least that's what I recall doing, and just with 2 people. Just lure it towards the water, make it do a dash into the water, and from there on, you have the upper hand, or as Obi-Wan would say, I have the high ground. Locate Eiktyr's card. I did. Use Eiktyr's card. And place it within the dice results reminders face up. Okay, did that. Basically, we're just gonna fight Eiktyr and then we're done. Yay, you're gonna fight him. Yeah, with one person, I'm not sure if that's that easy, but with 2, definitely. Locate the Eiktyr arena cards. Okay. I'm guessing that are these. Shuffle them. They might have nerfed it by now because that was like 5 years ago or something like that when I did it. So, but if it still works, right? Okay. Place them face down near the enemy board. Yeah, like I have the space. I did not know it would get this crowded. Players proceed in turn order, taking 2 different actions, moving and attacking. Excuse me. Moving is optional, but that doesn't mean they can attack twice. When they attack, they roll their own dice and also the 3 black dice for Eiktyr. Or in this case, Forsaken. Yeah, Eiktyr. If they can, players must always attack on their turn. Note that during the Forsaken fight, you can use any attack type on the spaces adjacent to the Forsaken, but only range attack on the outer spaces. Yeah, so you have a spear, so you're standing good. You have a bow, so it makes sense that they put you here. Okay. Anything else I need to know before we start fighting? Player 1 is the first player to act since they summoned the Forsaken. Player 1 moves 2 spaces to reach that area. So I gain a +1 on my attack. The icon there is +1, which means it's +1 bonus. Player attacks rolling their own dice. 2 for the bronze sword and 3 for the Eiktyr. So the yellow ones get out. I'm putting the dice over here. Hopefully I don't need them as much. I can do it right here because we're fighting over here now. And depending on the result, Eiktyr either changes direction, attacks, or uses a special move. See the next card for what to do with the die results. Okay. Card 51. The order in which the dice results is yours. The player damage are dealt to the Forsaken minus any armor they might have. I don't think they have armor, right? No. So we do that. That's 2. 1, 2. Any blanks are rolled. The Forsaken moves according to their card. There are no blanks. If any hits are rolled, the Forsaken deals hit minus any shield results. So you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. Oh crap. 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, nice knowing you, player 1, but you're gone. Putting a tombstone over here. And you lost your bronze sword. Yay! And no exclamation marks. This notice how dice results follow order and Forsaken card from top to bottom. Remember to look for the Forsaken card as a reminder. Yeah. Player 1 is dead. Apply the results of the roll, the bonus. Oh, you did one extra bonus. Don't forget. Only counts as long as they roll at least one hit. Yeah, if they roll blanks, okay. Player 2 moves to a space in the outer ring, not adjacent to Eitir. Player 2, you move over here. It doesn't have a -R, does it? No. Space in the outer require a ranged weapon. Unfortunately, player 2 doesn't have any. In this case, you cannot attack Eitir, but Eitir still attacks them. Player 2 may still roll their defense dice. Okay, now we're rolling defense. I defend one, but they do one exclamation. Blank. They move towards the one space, so they're getting adjacent, so they're moving over here. Standing on my tombstone, how dare you? Then they apply a hit, but that doesn't go through because I have a defense. And then they draw and resolve the next arena card, which says Angler Toss. If the active player... just read the red first. Eitir uses his antlers to throw you in the air. If the active player is adjacent to Eitir, they take 1 damage per thing, yeah, and have 1 fewer action in the next turn. Okay. Now we're screwed. Player 3 has a ranged weapon and may attack Eitir from the outer ring. Player 3 rolls for combat and applies the result. So we do yellow dice now. We shoot with fire. We have 1 hit. They move 1 closer and standing next to us. We deal 1 hit plus 1 is 2. 1, 2. That, I think Eitir will kill us before we do anything. Meat may be spent on your turn to gain indicated amount of benefit. The benefit may also instead be given to other players, even if they are knocked out. Player 4 moves to any space with another player and spends their health meat to give them 2 health. Player 4 moves over here and you spend this one to give you 2 health. Done. That I could follow. Player 4 rolls for combat. We have the nice ambient spear that we're going to use. Hopefully it does some damage. That's 4 damage. They move closer to the active player and do 1 damage to me. Oh no, I have to draw. I keep to draw these cards. So what did you do to him? The active player takes 2 damage per roll. Okay, you got 2 damage. And all players on the same or adjacent space suffer 1. You were adjacent at that point, so okay. And now you are gonna draw a new card, but don't forget you get 4 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4. All players drop a weapon card on their space. Mark them with tombstones to remember. It's like it doesn't fit, but sure. Players may pick them up to get for 1 action. Yeah, okay, nice. Yellow moves. You drop a hammer because you drop a hammer. That's the yellow tombstone. And well, you drop the flint axe and put that there. Okay. Art 54. If players' health is reduced to 0 in a fight, they may no longer perform actions, use skills unless revived by a healing effect. They are essential out of the game, but still share any potential victory or defeat. It's now player one's turn again. No. Continue taking turns this way until the health is 0 or all players are knocked out. Remember to use your Power of Odin skills and always follow the die results order. Once you've won or lost, draw the final card. Okay, we're doing final combat, people. I can reroll one and can reveal any tile. Well, that doesn't help right now. It's your turn. You're gonna pick up the spear because now you have a ranged weapon. So that's 1. It's still 1, but I can spend Ember. I have to be in the house to do that, right? I don't think I do. To add fire to my spear. Now I have a fire spear. Let's burn that deer. Oh, and 2 defense dice. It will cost me 1 stamina. I am defended by 2. It moves, pop, 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 and then a card. But it gets 2 damage. 1, 2. All players on the space directly behind Eikthyr take 3 damage. Son of a... You're knocked out. Players may pay 2 results to stamina to move to an adjacent space and dodge the attack. Oh, let's do that. And that's 1 extra, so that's 3 in return, and that means I have to spend 3. Okay. So now it is your turn. You're gonna shoot with your wooden bow. 1 tunic. Not using those. So now it becomes a dice chucker. I do 2 damage plus 1 is 3. 1, 2, 3. They move 1 close to me and then they are trying to... Oh, we put that away. Plus 1 if they act to the player result no matter where the player is. And 1 extra if they are adjacent. They are not, so that's cool. So I get 2 damage. Still alive, people. You're gonna spend an action to make your spear fiery. Okay, let's do this. Yeah, no defense dice. 2 hits. 1, 2. It moves towards me. 1. And then it does this. Eikthyr unleashes his electrical power and a lightning strike hits the ground. All players adjacent to Eikthyr take 1 damage and are pushed out to the adjacent outer space. Apply effects those. But that's adjacent. You're not adjacent, you're in the same spot because he doesn't lightning. Okay, that's a good thing. Moving around to you. Just 1, 2 blue ones and the 3 black ones. 10-ish health, something like that to go. It's 2 hits. 1, 2. It stays there because it cannot move any closer. And then it will try to hit me. So adjacent, is that also on the same spot? Because then it would give 1 extra lightning strike. It doesn't do that. But it does do 1 damage, which is revealed their way. But I do spend 1 rolling that. Yellow's turn, almost dead. So let's change this. Let's shoot fire arrows at Eikthyr. Let's burn those antlers. And you... 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He moves 1. Well, 1, 2, because now he's standing next to me. It does 2 damage, and I'm knocked out. I will drop everything. I'm pretty sure that the fire is extinguished. And by the way, you use a spear, but yeah, it's +2 only if it's maxed. You use the spear twice, so you basically max that out, but I need max health to be able to do that. Okay, it's Blue's turn. Final strike, hopefully. 2 health. It's gone! We defeated Eikthyr! Congratulations, you have completed the tutorial. Whether you won or lost, you should now have a pretty good idea what to expect from a regular game. All that's left to do is to pick a scenario, set up the world and play. This time you get to make all the decisions yourself. Well, there will be more streams of this coming. There's still loads more to discover, sailing, beekeeping and all those other stuff. We won! I have to do a quick bio break and then we're going to discuss a little bit about the game. So there we are, closest thing to lightning you could find. Well, yeah, it looks like it. So normally we don't go to the tutorial deck, we go through this deck. Basically in 2 phases stuff will happen. So phase 1 and then phase 2. When the deck runs out and I haven't defeated the big bad, I would have lost. So after each turn I flip over one of these event cards. That's basically how many turns I have. So yeah, it still gets stuff and everything. It's not like what you can do in a game. It's not a fully survival game. It's basically get ready, prepare to fight the boss game. It's not you're getting ambushed and you need to keep surviving. There might be some ambushes. But in this case there weren't. The only thing, yeah, and it's an issue that I also have with Deep Rock Galactic. At some point there is not enough space. So if I have to drop those cards, they have to be within the same space. But those cards are like this big, well the space could be smaller. So that doesn't work. I do like the nice little tombstones. I'm gonna paint the bases in the color of the the tombstone, so if I'm streaming you can see from the top that they are used, because that's the only time I need them. For the rest I have nice wooden tokens and everything which I can lay on their side or anything. I did notice now that I did one thing wrong. I have to be at the house to be able to craft on the table, to do that fire thing that I did. But yeah, when I'm in combat, I could only I could only move and shoot. So yeah, I might have not made it. I made a small mistake at the end. I could not craft for fire, so that extra hits did not happen. So I needed a couple of more turns. I might have survived it eventually, but yeah, you never know. I do like it. There will be more streams of this coming, but first I want to paint everything. So January would be the first time that I have time to show this off. I could do a campaign, basically do 3 or 4 scenarios back to back. That's also cool. Oh, wow, that is very shiny. This was shining so bright in my eyes. I was like, whoa. I like the shiny new ones. Oh, look at how shiny they are. But that means if I can find a spot to put this little miniature, and I don't know where, but if I can find a spot to put him somewhere, maybe underneath here, that might fit. But I also need to find a spot to put the chest. Then it can go in the base box. It doesn't need its own separate box. I'm not going to clean this up now. I have plans. Painting stream. I haven't done one of those in like forever. When I get more time in the weekend to do a stream, I might do that. I still have a couple of things. I still need to finish Robinson Crusoe. I still need to finish Foundations of Rome. I got new unmatched sets that need painting. I still need to finish the Buffy one. I think that's so I have Buffy, the 2 Witchers, Battle of Legends Volume 3, and Ali versus Bruce Lee. So enough to paint. And then of course this one. And then there will be more stuff coming because the turtles are also coming for Unmatched. So, oh man, I should do maybe a painting stream just to force myself to paint those things. Just to get that done. Otherwise, I don't think I will ever get that done. But this weekend I have a Dutch con, the biggest Dutch board game convention that there is. Just 2 days, and I don't know if Amanda's here. Basically, I think it's smaller than Hall 3, and that's it. That's it. I think it's a lot smaller than Hall 3. Basically, it's 2 cons. It's Spell Spectacle, but also Card Con, which is a trading card thing, and they start earlier. They have the separate hall, but if you have a ticket for one, you can go to the other, and vice versa. So, yeah. So that was it for Valheim. I went through the tutorial because I had no time to prepare for the rules, and I do like it. Do like the game, and I want to play it more. And maybe the painted streams will come back. I also want to do more Dutch streams. So, and since my weekend will be filled with baseball practice, I really need to find time. If I cannot find the time, I will do it off stream, because then I don't have to worry about setup and everything. I can just go start. I am checking out those speed paint markers from the Army Painter to see how those work. Because basically I can draw. But yeah, it would be cool if I would be able to do painting streams. I do want to do them, but I also have a responsibility here in the house. And it's not like I could do this full time. If I could, definitely I would do painting streams. My whole, I would get out of bed around 11 kind of thing and not do my day job. But yeah, currently I make like $50 every 2 or 3 months, and that's it. Yeah, there's no way I can survive on that. Who is live right now? Is Timey still live? Can we rate Timey? Timey, are you still live? Time Roller is still live. So we're gonna rate Time Roller. But I'm in the wrong chat for that one. I can fix it. I can go to my own stream. Audio's off. Yay! Thank you all for being here. I'm gonna rate. Oh, I'm at 600 followers right now. Oh, cool. How many subs? 4. Who was that? My son, of course. And 10 more biddies, then I'm at 1000 bits. Okay. November, how many earn points to reach plus level 1? I don't know, even know. It's just the goals that they're default set by things. Ash, rate Time Roller. We're gonna rate Time Roller. Thank you all for being here. My son just dropped in because we suddenly jumped to 5 viewers. I will be back on Tuesday with coffee and crowdfunding, and on Thursday I will be playing Thiebae. It's the board and dice game from Spiel, the Spieler release. And maybe I'll talk a little bit more about the DutchCon if I don't forget to take pictures. Bye everybody. And you are most welcome, Corthane.
That's it, man. It's game over, man. It's game over.